Okay, we've got our race-winning team for today's Goody's Fast Pain Relief 500 here at Martinsville Speedway. And our race winner is Denny Hamlin. He drives the number 11 FedEx Freight Toyota. He's joined by his crew chief, Mike Ford, and he's joined by President of Joe Gibbs Racing, J.D. Gibbs. Congratulations goes out to Denny Hamlin, second win in a row here at Martinsville Speedway, and certainly one with a lot of drama and great storylines. Talk about your victory out there today, Denny.
Yeah, it was an eventful day for us. We were, the first run, we were really able to make some ground up, and I knew our car was extremely strong. Right after, right as soon as the green flag dropped, we were able to make up some positions. I think we got to sixth. Had a pit road thing where a car fell on the jack, and I don't know where that put us back, but there were a lot of cars in front of us, and it was very tough back there to try to make up ground. But I told Mike that I felt like we could get back there up to the front the old-fashioned way, just driving back up there, but it was going to take a little bit longer than what I wanted to. Hopefully we were going to be able to do some kind of pit strategy to get that track position back, but we just did it the old-fashioned way. We passed the cars back, and it was a good day for us. I told Mike here during practice on Saturday that there was no doubts we were going to win this race, and I didn't think it was going to be this hard or that dramatic at the end, but nonetheless, it's a good feeling.
Thank you, Denny. Mike Ford, crew chief, certainly made some good calls out there that panned out. Talk about your day out there on pit road.
Yeah, the day on pit road, like Denny mentioned, the first couple pit stops we had a couple issues and had to fight for track position, but good thing is that was early, and we were able to shake that off and have some good stops there towards the end of the race. But coming down to the end, and leading the race, here at Martinsville, the last place you want to be when the caution comes out would then tend to go as the leader, because everyone's going to take cuts at you, and you just wonder if you have enough time to get back. So you're thinking about that situation 30 laps prior, and watching the weather also, but it came right at the point where it's probably the most difficult call on pit road, leading the race, inside 10 to go. Had 65 laps on our tires. New tires were going to be fast, but you just don't know what everyone else is going to do.
Thank you, Mike. And J.D. Gibbs had to be pleased about that 1-2 finish for Joe Gibbs Racing out there today.
Yeah, a big deal for us. Joey to do what he did, just come home second and just be smooth and consistent all day. A real testament to him and Zip. And then for Mike and Denny, really just, I told Mike, for the record, I never doubted him. But in reality, I was cussing him up top the pit box. That was just – but it was one of those things where they trust each other. And Mike and Denny, it is what it is. They're going to make their decisions, and they've been doing this long enough as a team that they really have a good feel for what the other one needs. And I think he gave Denny what he needed, and he did a great job taking it to the front.
Thank you, J.D. We'll go upstairs for 3 questions. Go ahead in the press box.
Hey, Denny. Drew Wilson, Danville Register B. I got a 2-part question for you. First, obviously I know you wanted to get the operation out of the way this morning, but so when you found out that the rain had knocked the race out yesterday, were you a little frustrated at all that you had to postpone that? And then second, now that you know that you ended up winning it, I guess you don't mind it too much that you had to change that.
No, yeah, it was frustrating because I really needed, to me, in my mind, I need every hour after it's done to recuperate to be good for Phoenix. But we're going to have to deal with the cards that were dealt, just like we did at the end of this race. Where things don't always happen just the way they plan, and it was frustrating that we couldn't get it done. But this is definitely a good alternative. It's just. I'm looking forward to getting over with, mainly because when I know after that hour's done, every minute from there on out, we're going to start to get better and better and better. Where it just started just getting a little bit worse. It seems like here lately. So, it bothered me a little bit probably the last 100 laps, but you're so focused on trying to win the race, it overcomes a lot of any kind of pain that you have in the car.
Go upstairs again for another question. Go ahead.
This is Damian Sorlett with the Danville Register and B. This first part of the question is for Denny, seconds from Mike. Denny, kind of reminds me of Pocono last year where you spoke over the radio to Mike saying that you were going to win the race after your grandmother died. Did you kind of say that to him when you were in 9th place with 4 fresh tires with a handful of laps to go? And Mike, did you have to say anything to calm Denny down there during that second to last restart and that last restart when he was in fourth?
No, I didn't say anything because I knew things were going to have to happen the way they happened for us to win this race. I mean, we were able to get a good restart. It just all depended on where we were at on the second restart. How many cars were we going to be able to get before that caution came out? All that stuff was going to be a factor in us winning this race. So I didn't say anything after, I saw that we were going to come out, 9th or 10th or something like that. So there's just nothing you can do. If we didn't pit, I can assure you 90% of the guys behind us would have pitted, and then we would have definitely lost the race if that's the case. So to me, I think, getting down to it, and if I had to put a percentage on it, no matter what we do at the end of this race, whether we pit or don't pit, it was going to be about a 20% chance that we win this race. That was about it, because things were going to happen. And not only that 20% was going to be everything happen the way they did with us taking tires.
Upstairs again for another question. Go ahead.
Monty Dutton, Gaston Gazette, and I know this is, I'm sort of fascinated by this topic, the damned if you do, damned if you don't. And what I wanted to ask Mike Ford, I mean, the same thing was true with Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson a few races ago, that what you do dictates that the others will do the opposite. So what I'm saying is, Mike, what do you do? Do you just say, all else being equal, I do what I think is best and wipe that out of my mind?
Well, here at Martinsville is probably a little different. If we were, at Charlotte or somewhere like that, or even Phoenix for that, inside 10 to go here, you start doubling up those cars on the restarts. If we had the situation where it was, still the old days where you had one attempt at a green-white checker, even before that, you would have stayed out. No doubt about it. If it were single file, it would have been an easy decision. Being double file, like Denny mentioned, that whatever you do, the guys behind you are gonna try and play you. So your cards are shown when you commit either way. They're waiting on you to show their hand, to see what you're going to do, and their only opportunity to win is do the opposite. So, the 3 attempts at a green-white checkered played into the decision. I figured, okay, we're down towards the end of the race. You're stacking, new tires up with old tires. Guys are going to get aggressive. Somebody's going to get the short end of the stick on this, and it's going to be the guys that stayed out. And that played out once, and that was all that we needed. I was thinking, okay, the possibility of more cautions are there. In the restarts, we can get 2 or 3 spots a restart and come out with this. So it's a pretty complex decision. You have to go with your gut to a degree, knowing that others are going to take a shot at you, and as soon as you pull down pit road or as soon as you stay out on the racetrack, everybody's going to critique your decision. So like Denny mentioned, guys are just going to take a cut at you. You've beat them all day long, and they know if they play your game, you're still going to beat them. So being the leader inside 10 to go, the last thing you want to see is a caution.
All right, let's come downstairs for a couple of questions. Go ahead right here. We'll go here and then up here to David. Go ahead.